See this? This tiny piece of rubber, smaller than the tip of a pencil, is why my '63 Studebaker Avanti wouldn't start. One chunk missing from this needle valve, and the entire car was dead in the garage. It was the car of the future in 1963, and it's the project of a lifetime today. I'm at Chatty Dad, and this is the Avanti Series. Let's get into it. Tonight, I tore into a 60-year-old Carter AFB 4-barrel carburetor for the first time since complaining about a 1-barrel Carter last century, and I found it. Let's hope it's it. I've spent all spring chasing one issue after another, and the Avanti is still sitting on jacks in the garage. So here's where we are in the Avanti series. I just got the starter motor rebuilt and reinstalled. That was the last episode. Cranks beautifully now. Strong. Problem solved, right? Wrong. The car cranks, but it won't catch. It'll turn over all day long, but it just won't fire. I finally got it to start by holding the gas pedal to the floor while cranking, and it ran. Rough. White smoke out the back. And it would only stay running if I kept my foot on the gas. The second I let off the throttle, dead. Then I noticed gas leaking from the back of the carburetor. Fuel was literally overflowing out of the bowl. The carb was flooding, dumping way too much fuel into the engine, fouling the plugs, and the idle circuit was completely gone. Now keep in mind, this carburetor was just worked on less than a year ago by Mike Baker at Avanti Restoration and Service. I'd never taken a carburetor apart before. I'm not going to lie, it was intimidating. This Carter AFB has about 99 parts on the exploded diagram, hairpin clips the size of your fingernail, and a rebuild guide where the photos don't match the terminology on the parts diagram. Good times. But I walk through it one step at a time. Step 1, disconnect the choke linkage. Little hairpin clip on the choke connector rod. Squeeze, slide, done. Step 2, disconnect the accelerator pump linkage on the other side. Same deal, another hairpin clip. Step 3, disconnect the fuel line at the inlet fitting. 1/2-inch flare nut. SK flare nut wrench worked beautifully. Do not use a regular open-end wrench on these, or you'll round it off after 60 years of corrosion. Step 4, 10 flathead screws holding the air horn to the main body. And here's something the guides don't always tell you. Not all 10 screws are on the perimeter. 2 of them are on the interior, on the center divider between the primary and secondary bores. I numbered every single screw location. Photos. Always photos. Then I lifted the air horn straight up, flipped it over, and there they were. 2 brass floats, 2 needle and seat assemblies, the heart of the fuel metering system. The floats, shook both of them. No sloshing, no pinholes. Floats are good. The needle valves, this is where it got interesting. I labeled each side. F for fuel inlet side, NF for non-fuel inlet side. Pulled both needles out of their seats and looked at the rubber tips under good light. The NF side looked pretty clean, maybe a few shiny specks, possible metallic debris. The F side, there it is, a chunk of rubber missing from the tip, right where it seats against the valve, seat to shut off fuel flow. That damaged tip means fuel pours past the needle no matter what the float does. The bowl overfills, gas overflows out the weep port, the engine floods, and idle is impossible. One tiny piece of rubber. That's the whole problem. And then I pulled a fuel sample from the bottom of the float bowl with a pipette. Look at that sediment. Fine, dark particulate matter sitting in the bottom of the bowl. That's rust from the original 1963 steel fuel tank working its way through the system. Those abrasive particles are what chewed up the needle tip over time. Mike Baker documented the same thing during the restoration. He had to replace the fuel filter 5 times because of rust particles from the tank. So that's where we stand. The air horn is off. The problem is identified. The cause is confirmed. Next up, I typed my way over to Mike's Carburetor.parts.com and ordered a Carter AFB rebuild kit matched to my carb number, 3651S. New needle and seat assemblies, new gaskets, new accelerator pump. Then I'm pulling the entire carb off the intake manifold, soaking the body in carburetor cleaner overnight, blowing out every idle circuit passage with compressed air, and putting the whole thing back together. But first, I have a volleyball tournament to attend on the other side of the state, the 2026 Mizuno Motor City Madness Tournament. First carburetor rebuild, 63-year-old car. a Carter AFB 4-barrel that was originally spec'd for a 1964 Pontiac 421 because apparently somebody swapped carbs on this Avanti at some point in the last 6 decades. Because of course they did. If you want to see how it turns out, subscribe and hit the bell. This is the Avanti Series on Chatty Dad, and this car keeps teaching me something new every time I open the hood. I'll see you in the next one.